Hi, I'm Phil Bainbridge, and this is a quick demo video for the blog post to cleanse question titles from a Google form. So the principle behind this here is we've got a Google form and we want to use an on-form submit trigger with some app script to capture the data that's been submitted and then do something with it. For instance, we might populate it into a Google Doc. The problem we've got is usually you have to be very specific in terms of the question titles that you then need to reuse in your app script code to pull out the relevant data associated with it. So here we've just got name, shoe size, and then a date, for instance. If we take shoe size, when we app script, then we have to make sure when we're accessing our object from the event data that we use a capital S at the beginning, a space in the middle, and no other space around it. But what we can tend to find, at least after we've coded stuff and people have gone back in and maybe made some changes, is sometimes we can have a space occurring at the very end, or sometimes we might have a capital S there instead. So we can have a few variations that mean the app script code is a little bit more prone to potentially failing. So what I've created here is a little bit of code that you can use, a function that you can paste into your current code to cleanse it in a sense. So what I'm going to do is I've got the form here to test submitting. So I'm just going to put some dummy data in. There's just a few different fields to test out here. So if I submit that, it goes to the form response sheet as normal. Nothing changes here. We've got the information that we want. But when we're capturing data with an on-form submit trigger, we tend to put that within the app script. So here's the app script already made that you can have access to. So we get our event data in the first instance from our parent function. We get our named values as we usually do, but then what I've created here is a cleanse data function. So you pass those values that you would usually get into it. This is the function here on the left. So this here can just be copied and pasted into your existing code. What it's designed to do is it's designed to set the question titles all entirely to lowercase. So you haven't got to worry about any little capital letters here and there. And it's also designed to trim any white space around the start and the beginning, which again can typically occur if people are putting form questions together and they're copying and pasting from other resources. So it might look a little bit daunting, but it's quite straightforward. It's quite niche and comfortable in what it does. It is basically iterating through all of the data from the Google form. It's getting the question title only, which is coming through as a string, and it's setting it to lowercase, and it's trimming it any white space. Then it just kind of populates and puts this back into our object here that we've created. So it's creating a whole new object for us to be able to use, which we then ultimately return to our parent function at the bottom. So if we go back to the parent function that you would have, if we just store that in a variable, so I've just called it cleaned form data here, then we can access it as we would normally. The difference being, however, that we now use the new all lowercase name. So you've got name, shoe size, a date, for instance. So instead of what we saw here, where we had the capital letters, we've now converted it all to lowercase. It's quite nice and quick. It will automatically go through every question title on your form and then give you it here as an array to use. It doesn't take very much time for it to do, so it's not going to slow down your scripts, but it gives you that fail-safe of reducing any issues with capital letters and kind of white space at the very end. Thank you very much.